call May 15th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call. Here. 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 Any conflicts of interest to declare? No. No. Approval of minutes of the meeting of April 10th, 2014.
No one had a chance to review them yet. I would defer action.
Okay. Any correspondence for the board?
No.
There being none. First item on the agenda is bid opening for Hammond Purdue Calumet Outdoor Complex at Dowling Park Phase 2.
And we have 4 bids.
And good morning, Courtney.
First bid is from Burling Builders Incorporated, 44 West 60th Street, Chicago, Illinois. They have your bid bond. They have their non-collusion affidavit signed. I don't see a Form 96, but we'll determine whether that's part of the package as part of the bid tabulation. Their base bid is $2,578,000. Then there's a series of alternates. Alternate number 1 is $37,000. Number 2 is $66,000. Number 3 is $8,000. Number 4 is $8,000. Number 5 is $34,000. Number 6 is $85,000. Number 7 is $45,000. Number 8 is $62,000. Number 9 is $6,000. Number 10 is $44,000, and number 11 is $11,000. The next bid is from Goff Incorporated, 2200 East 88 Drive, Maryville, Indiana. They have their non-collusion affidavit signed. They have their bid bond. And they have their Form 96. Their base bid is $2,338,840. For alternate 1, $35,000. Alternate 2, $47,000. Alternate 3, $17,500. Alternate 4, $10,000. Alternate 5, $36,000. Alternate 6, $72,000. Alternate 7, $55,000. Alternate 8, $46,000. Alternate 9, $6,800. alternate 10, $63,500, and alternate 11, $6,500. Next bid is from Gary Up Construction Company Incorporated, P.O. Box 64879, Gary, Indiana. You have their Form 96 filled out. You have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. A bid bond. Is there anything else in the envelope? Oh, and they have your bid bond. Their base bid is $2,427,500. Their bid for alternate 1 is $50,000. Alternate 2, $49,000. Alternate 3, it's a deduct of $16,000. Alternate 4, $8,000. Alternate 5, $36,000. Alternate 6, $74,000. Alternate 7, $46,000. Alternate 8, $48,000. Alternate 9, $7,000. Alternate 10, $63,000. And alternate 11, $7,000. The final bid is from Powers and Sons Construction Company Incorporated, 2636 West 15th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. I think they have a Form 96. It looks like an alternate document that was printed up. Their base bid is $2,711,000. Alternate 1, $35,400. Alternate 2, $48,300. Alternate 3 is a deduct of $24,600. Alternate 4, $8,000. Alternate 5, $34,900. Alternate 6, $73,500. Alternate 7, $82,000. Alternate 8, $88,600. Alternate 9, $10,500. Alternate 10, $68,944. and alternate 11, 6,600. I'd like to make a motion these be referred to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item is agreement with Nice Engineering for engineering services in the Walter Avenue project, Thornton Street to Carroll.
And this is for preliminary engineering, which is the development of the plan. The cost of the contract is $38,500. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the contract with Nice Engineering for the design of Walter.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item, item D, correspondence received from Chief of Inspections, Mr. James Callahan, listing low bidders for the demolition bid.
I think we missed C.
Oh, excuse me. Bid recommendation received from Mr. Mike Vane, City Maintenance, for the Hammond Police Station chiller.
Mr. Baines is recommending that the award be made to D.A. Dodd, who was the lowest bidder at $115,100. So I'd like to make a motion that we concur with that recommendation and make the award to D.A. Dodd.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item D, correspondence received from Chief of Inspection, Mr. James Callahan, listing low bidders for the demolition bid of May 8th, 2014.
So it looks like he's breaking up the bid award. He's awarding 63 Alexander, 6950 Arizona, 908 Bauer, 838 Carroll, 7115 Delaware, 1408 Sherman, 2639 164 Place, and 1153 Wilcox to RSR Demolition. He's awarding 1913 Bauer, 19 Doty, 4306 Elm to JM Industrial Services Incorporated. He's awarding, I think I made a mistake on the one, the 7115 Delaware actually goes to Earthwork International, and it's only a garage. And I think I included that in the RSR demolition. And he's awarding 604 Kenwood to Acton. And he's awarding or recommending award of 1334 and 40 Highland and 504 and 06 Kenwood to Gary Material Supply. So he's picking the low bidder for every individual property because it's in the best interest of the city. So I'd like to make a motion that we concur with his recommendation.
Second.
Motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item, item E, correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at Gotham Street and Magnolia Avenue and Hume.
This is an underground bore, so I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the work.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item F, correspondence received from Ronald Novak, Director, Department of Environmental Management, advising of the installation of 4 monitoring wells.
2 are going to be on Holman Avenue and 2 are going to be on Sheffield Avenue. And this is near the intersection of Goslin and Sheffield. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the installation of the monitoring well.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item, item G, hearing business license, a revocation hearing, Schmoth Auto Sales.
Mr. President, I do have my detective here.
Mr. Mayor, I did see the gentleman that was here last week walk in. I am not sure he is the owner, though, so the board may want to first inquire if he has standing to even contest this.
Sir, can you identify yourself, please?
Kenneth Hayes. Are you the owner of the?
No, I'm not the actual owner. I'm a partner.
Are you a part owner, or you're not
Yeah.
the owner?
Part owner.
Pardon.
Mr. President, I have Detective Small here. He's going to indicate what sort of activities are going on in Shima Auto Sales.
Sir?
All right, Detective, please tell me what sort of activity contrary to Hamilton ordinance and Indiana state laws is occurring at Shima Auto Sales for the revocation of their business license.
There's a violation of the city ordinance 114.01. It says, "No person shall operate an automobile dealer until the requirements of this chapter have been complied with and a license engagement, engaged in that business has been issued." Section B, it says, "Every person operating under the provisions of this chapter shall be held strictly responsible for the conduct of his or her employees." And I'm not going to read the rest to you. I think you guys are aware of it. But one of the employees there went by the name of Maurice Bowler, whose license has been revoked and/or expired by the Indiana State Secretary of State office. And he had sold a vehicle without providing a title to the purchaser of that vehicle. She was the third complainant of an incident in which she followed through with it and stayed involved with the case. The other two got their money back and then didn't want to pursue it anymore because they got their money back. She subsequently got her money back, but she got reduced rate. And under Indiana state statute, that if a title is not provided to a purchaser of a vehicle in 21 days, they have to contact that owner by registered mail and demand that their money be returned in full, including any interest fees or anything like that. Shemuth Auto Sales subsequently gave them a reduced amount after negotiations with the purchaser of that vehicle, and it was about $500 less. The bookkeeping, every time I've gone in there to check on their records and bookkeeping, it's as if there's a fire drill. I walk on the premises and everybody scatters. Nobody wants to deal with the police department. Nobody wants to provide any deal jackets, which is another requirement by state statute, that they have to maintain a deal jacket. In short, it's an envelope with all the proper paperwork to document the sale of that vehicle. They're selling vehicles on a Sunday. Contrary to Indiana state statute, you're not allowed to sell a vehicle on a Sunday, whether it's yourself or a business. It's an old blue law, but it's still nonetheless a law that violates Indiana state statute. There are several others that I have not filed any cases or written any citations. I thought that the rest of the dealers in the city of Hammond have done tremendous amounts of work. They've been more than cooperative with me every time I've gone to speak with them. They're selling better cars now that I've been involved with checking on their paperwork and inspecting their salvage inspections. Shemuth Auto Sales has refused to get better. They've only seemed to regress. And I feel that this city should hold them to a higher standard, being that it's a public trust, it's a safety issue when a car is sold. You don't want to put some kid in a car and being transported by a single mom trying to go to a job and have something break or not be reliable. And I feel that this business is not reliable and or upholding the statutes and the ordinance provided by the city.
Where's this place located?
6225 Kennedy Avenue.
Okay.
Mr. Hayes, do you have any questions of Detective Small?
No, I mean, I don't have any questions for him, but I do would like to make a statement.
I have one additional thing. One of the other issues we had is they're selling vehicles and they're putting Georgia temporary tags on it. How they're doing this, I don't know, and they're not issuing Indiana temp tags. I've called Georgia. I've called everybody that would listen to me about this, and they're not sure what they're violating. I'm not sure what they're violating, but it seems to be somewhat subversive, in my opinion, to be issuing Georgia temp tag for business in the city of Hammond. Should be issuing an Indiana dealer tag. I don't know how they're doing it, don't know why they're doing it, but I can't find any law that says they're violating it, but it is somewhat questionable, in my opinion. I don't know if the board would like. I just wanted to make that known and very clear.
Are they authorized by Georgia to issue temporary plates in Georgia?
The dealer in Georgia that I talked to said that Mr. Bowler was given a vehicle to sell on consignment. Mr. Bowler sold that vehicle at Shemuth Auto Sales, but issued the Georgia plate. Why, I don't know. 30 days later, then he issued an Indiana state plate, or temp plate. They also, on their paperwork, it's an odometer statement. They forgot to They put the wrong VIN on the paperwork. It doesn't even match the VIN that the woman bought. I mean, it's shoddy business all around. Again, I just reiterate myself, they don't need to be here.
I don't have any more questions for Detective Small unless the board does. Mr. Hayes indicated he doesn't have any questions for Detective Small, so it's he's free to go.
Well, I can stay, that's
Oh.
okay.
You got anything to add, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, okay, like the detective stated, Mr. Bolden, that was someone we did hire. We thought he had experience with selling cars. We was unaware of what he was doing, but when it came to light, we did rectify the situation by getting rid of him. Since then, we have, made progress into making, making the establishment better. But again, Mr. Bolden acted on his own when he did that, although it do fall on the business itself. And as far as the Sunday go, we was not aware of, couldn't sell cars on Sunday. When the investigator came out, she explained that to us,
How long have you been in the car selling business?
a year now.
Prior to that, you weren't doing any car selling?
Prior to that, I mean, we was, wholesalers,
Or what?
wholesalers. But like I said, since then, we have, got rid of him, and we making it our best effort to, comply by all rules and regulations.
Sir, problem is best effort isn't good enough. I mean,
Well,
we're getting a recommendation from HPD that,
well, despite our best effort, we have done the correct things. The investigator, she came back out again, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and she acknowledged that, we have made significant progress.
Who came?
Detective Small's partner.
No, it's a,
It's Indiana Secretary of State investigator,
Right.
Sherry Van Hook. I have one Mr. Bowler is the owner's brother-in-law. I mean, so they can say they fired him all they want, but it's his brother-in-law, and I have a video interview that I've done with him. Mr. Young was informed me that he was the owner of the business and implied that he had been in business for over 3 years.
Okay.
So I would think that he would understand the laws.
That's where I was going. Okay.
Mr. Hayes, in addition to you, who else owns the business?
me and Mr. Young.
So Chris, right now, they don't have a license?
No, I'm asking that the board revoke their license. They have a license, it would of course expire too, but I'm asking they revoke the not to issue another one.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by
Aye.
ayes have it. Thank you, sir. Item H, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting approval of General Order Number 14-4 and disposal authorization.
Make a motion that we approve Chief Doty's request.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item I, correspondence received from Fire Chief Jeffrey Smith requesting approval of the retirement of Captain William Cook and the promotion of Engineer R. Gonzalez to the rank of captain and the promotion of Private P. Terry to the rank of engineer.
I'll make a motion that we approve the chief's recommendation.
Second.
There's a motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item J, hearing on property located at 4828 Oak Avenue.
Mr. President, I'd like to request to receive the correspondence with Attorney Murphy requesting a continuance in this matter.
Yeah, we have a request. Now, I think last time we told him we weren't going to give him any
Last one, right?
anymore.
I don't know if you put a reason on there, I have no idea, I just received it.
There's like 2 pages of reason. Or 5.
Mr. Cook and myself did meet with Mr. Murphy last week, 2 weeks ago.
Before the last hearing, though? Yeah.
No, between the last hearing and today.
Because last Thursday, we told him this was the final one, I thought, or was it, maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
April 10th. We gave him till today for the last continuance.
He doesn't really give a reason, does he?
How many times has it been continued, Chris, do you know?
It was continued, scheduled for January 16th, continued in March, April.
And what was the hearing for? I know we gotta go back a while.
Yeah, we're looking for the removal of 2 garage apartments.
Are they occupied at the present time?
I believe so. This property is a single-family home being taxed as a single-family home.
Does the person that owns it own more properties, Matt?
In Hammond, I do not know. She lives in Chicago.
What would you like us to do, Chris?
I mean, it's up to the inspector, when you had your meeting with him, was there something that was solved or unsolved?
There was nothing that we could do.
Is there a request in here for an amount of time that he's asking for? He wants to
It usually
continue.
just turns out to be 30 days and 30 days.
If you want me to consider it over 2 weeks, I didn't know if there was an agreement that was gonna be drawn up or.
There's no
deed
agreement.
restriction or anything.
No, nothing.
Set for next week, because we've got demos, but if you wanted to set it 2 weeks, and we can figure out what the.
Today.
Today's the 15th, so 2 weeks.
29th.
Maybe at least at that time, if Matt has an order he's prepared, I could resend it, give an order that's prepared.
Yeah, I have the order ready.
Okay,
yeah.
just don't give me a copy now, can you
Okay.
give it to Attorney Murphy?
Okay.
And Chris, can we make this the final one, too?
Sure.
The final.
That's what this one, that's what the last one was supposed to be, the final one.
Here's the problem, I know what's gonna happen, if we enter the order, he's just gonna move to set it aside, saying he's never seen it. So if I can get him a copy, I can scan it in today and email it to him, and then if there's any question about the language, we'll have it solved before the 29th.
Is that a motion?
The motion is to give him 2 weeks, and we're going to reschedule the hearing for the 29th. I'll second your motion.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Hearing on property located at 4920 Ash Avenue. Item K.
Morning.
State your name, sir.
Attorney David Brandowy. My client called yesterday. Apparently she's ill and required to stay in her home. She's a 79-year-old woman. I think we've pretty much worked out an agreement. She will honor the request of Mr. Cook to use this as a single-family dwelling from here forward, assuming that there is no charges brought or ordinance violations brought.
She's current on a rental registration as a single-family home in 2014. We're just asking for the removal of that second floor apartment.
I think the understanding that I had discussed with the city attorney was that the building would not be used any further for anything other than a single-family dwelling. I don't think there was any discussion of any removal of any other items.
Deed restriction, did we talk about deed restriction? I don't recall this one at all.
I don't think we talked about that, but I don't think she would have a problem with that. I haven't raised that particular question with her, so.
So what I can do is I can prepare a deed restriction, so we record it on the property, if she should die or sell it or transfer it, and nobody else can come in and say, well, it was always a two-unit apartment.
This was used as a two-unit apartment, I think, for 30 years, but I believe that my client would accept that. I just have to sit down with her and talk about it.
We can also get it affirmed for the removal, and it gets recorded, a new owner down the line is going to know.
I'll make a
Either
motion.
way.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we affirm your findings.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Question? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Item M. I'm sorry, L. Rental registration hearing on property located at 4234 Johnson.
Morning,
State your name, sir.
Ronald Mans. My wife Catherine.
Yeah.
Explain why you didn't register it. It was 2013, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I thought I had. I seriously didn't.
We do it every year, and then he's been in failing health, and last year we moved our daughter to Cincinnati in January, and it slipped his mind, and we discovered
The
it.
only property that you own?
Yes,
It's
sir.
only rental property?
Well, only rental property, yes.
Recommendation?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we waive the late fee, and it's a 2-unit, right?
Yes.
So the fee will be $160 to just register it to catch up. You're currently registered for
Yes,
14, right?
yes.
Motion?
Is that your motion? I'll second it.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
What do we want to?
We go down and pay?
Actually, after the meeting's over, Glenn, right, after the meeting's over, they'll give you the paperwork and you can do it. And you have within 30 days to do it, if not, then the late fee will then be forced on you.
So we gotta wait until,
You can wait until now or come back tomorrow or.
okay. I'll come back.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
so
thank you.
much.
Item M, rental registration hearing on property located at 229 Locust.
Hi.
Can you state your name, ma'am?
Tanera Winters?
You're the property owner?
Yes.
Do you live there?
No.
Do you own any other properties in the city?
No.
Is it 1 year?
No, this is been a rental since 2000.
No, it has not been, it didn't register.
No.
It's a 1 unit, you said?
It's a single-family home.
All right, go ahead. Why didn't you register it in 12 or 13?
I didn't know I had to do that at all. I had no idea, and when I was made aware, I requested this hearing so that I could come.
And you said you don't own any other properties?
No.
Do you live in Hammond?
No.
Has it been rented out since you bought it in 12?
It was my home.
Oh,
I
it was
moved
yours.
out in 2012. I moved with my job, and I rented it out, and I did not know that I had to register it with the city. And so I've been gone since then. I now live in Cleveland. So I came back for the hearing, and I requested the hearing, but I did not know I had to do it. So as soon as I found out, I requested the hearing so that I can take care of what I need to do.
So do you still pay for the water at the house?
No.
You pay the taxes, but
Yes.
those are sent to Cleveland?
Well, I pay the mortgage, and it's rolled into the mortgage, so.
No, I don't have any information on the appeals today.
So is it currently registered for 14 or, so 12, 13, and 14? I make a motion that we waive the late fee, but the registration has to be registered for 2012, 13, and 14 at $80 per year.
Okay.
Motion?
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye. We also need to make sure that we have your proper address in Cleveland, so
Okay.
when this comes up in 15, that you can we got your right address.
Okay.
And if you ever move, we need to know where you're moving to.
Okay. How do I do that?
When she registers, she'll put her correct reference.
When you register, after the meeting, you can wait till after the meeting and then see the secretary, and she'll give you all the paperwork to go downstairs and do that.
And you could get it done today.
Okay. Thank you.
Item N, rental registration hearing on property located at 40 Lawndale.
Hi, Timothy Brennan.
Thank you, sir.
So we've lived at 40 Lawndale for 14 years. We bought a new house in Crete, and one of our contractors lost their house to foreclosure. So we said, okay, you can go ahead and live in our house until you find housing. It went on much longer than we thought. We were not aware that we had to register the house as a rental. It is our plan to put it back on the market to try and sell it again, but they are still there. So,
How long have you been renting it?
Since last March, I believe.
13 and now 14?
Right.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we waive the late fee, but you got to register for 13 and 14 at $80 each.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Thank you.
Ayes have
Sir,
it.
make sure that we have when you register, your proper address also.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Item O, rental registration hearing on property located at 7115 Marshall Avenue.
Hello, sir.
Morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Mark Kokoyachik.
Yes, sir.
How many years do we know?
It's just 13.
Just, okay.
Yeah.
Is it registered for 14?
Yes, sir.
What happened in 13?
Well, long story, but when I did brought paperwork, I got a divorce, went through bankruptcy, and then I have 2 properties in Indiana, and I was going to lose the properties. And then mid-summer of last year, the bank wanted to work with me to do some sort of modification. So on October 3rd, on both properties, they basically said I passed whatever program they wanted me to do. And then on December 1st, I had a person move in to the property, on one of my properties.
In December of 2013?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what the violation's for.
Are both of the properties in Hammond?
Yes, sir.
So is the other one registered?
Yes, sir. It's registered for 2014, not 2013, but I never received a violation for the other one, but I never had anybody living in it because it was under foreclosure.
Oh, so it wasn't rented? Okay.
Yeah, so both the properties were under foreclosure, and then after I passed this, this thing from the bank, then I had a police officer move in to one of the units on December 1st of 2013, and that's what I got the violation for.
Okay.
Yeah, we were on the work for second property, but he's registered up to this 13, and we registered for 14.
Say that again?
I said we were unaware of the other property.
Yeah, I knew that.
And then 7115, he was registered up into 2012, this 2013, and then we registered for 24.
So 14 is rented?
14 is correct.
But was anybody renting in 13?
No.
No, I mean, you didn't really.
Well, anybody, at 7115, there was nobody registered?
No, at 7115, on December 1st,
Oh, I got you.
I did have somebody move in. To be honest with you, I was going to let the properties go at this point. There was nobody living there. This all happened last minute, trying to save the properties. And then I have a police officer who's living in there. I kind of was, to be honest, I totally forgot about the registration at that point. And then, I thought I didn't think I had to register. Once I realized I had, it was already January. I'm like, well, did I have to register it or not? So I'm willing to pay the fee. I'm just not sure. I mean, this was a very emotional year for me, so.
What was the second address?
It's Colorado, 60, here, sorry. It's my Colorado property. Oh, here. It'll be back here. Oh, here. Yeah, 6730 Colorado Avenue. I have the paperwork, the registration here.
Mr. President, I don't see any problem. The only thing we're actually appealing is 7115 Marshall.
We can't take any action on Colorado, right?
It's not, I mean, are you late for that one too?
No, there was nobody living there.
Drop something before.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mr. Brandon's appeal will let him register the $80 for 7115 Marshall.
Was it registered, was it rented though, right?
Well, it was rented December, so technically rented 1 month. Or you can just say, he's good.
I'll make a motion that we dismiss action.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item P, correspondence received requesting a rental registration be continued. This is from Mildred Slazik,
137 Goslin.
137 Goslin.
Continue.
Does she request a day? Oh, after June 6th.
After June 6th.
Well, it can't be June 12th, I know that. June 19th? June 19th?
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item, item Q, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings.
Are these all together? What's this one here that's got a signature thing on it? We have specific findings of fact on these. Huh?
It's a bonus stuff.
analyst as a, oh, letter T, okay.
Oh, I got you, I see that.
This is R, and then what is this? This is S.
R's next.
R. Those are R.
Here's Q.
They all stuck together. Okay, so we have how many here? 26.
This
We've
is
got-
R. Where's Q?
Yeah, where's Q?
There's, Q was right here.
Q was stuck to that one.
That's lazy.
C, Q.
P and Q are together.
Yeah, but is this woman,
the
'cause
letter
she
is-
doesn't tell you anything, you don't
Yeah,
know
but
where it
the
is. We
letter-
assume that this is the same name. So, P and Q are taken care of, right? Which one's Q? This is Q? Well, then what's R?
Execute on. I got you.
How's that?
We're good.
Thank you.
There's 26 of those, and we want to break them up into two different, how about 13 of them on June 26th? Oh, we do? How about 13 of them on June 3rd, and 13 of them on July 3rd, and 13 on July 10th?
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, R, here's R.
R, notice violation hearing on property located at 4934 Oak Avenue.
Anybody here for Oak?
Mr. Kwiatkowski was properly noticed. We're looking for the removal of one first floor and one second floor apartment. This was built in 1924 as a two-story frame house. We also have a permit on file for that, and 1925 a permit for a garage. No permits to convert that single-family home into a 4-unit. It's zoned R1U, which would allow for 2. There's no fire separation between the units, no fire doors, obviously. So we're asking, and one first floor and one second floor were marked uninhabitable. So we're asking for the removal of those 2 units that could be converted to a 2-unit.
And nobody showed up. I'll make a motion that we find your
Motion?
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item S, notice violation hearing on property located at 1308 Indiana Avenue. Morning.
I do it too.
My name is James Sheldon.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Pretty much what we have here is a 2-unit, asking to go back to a single-family home. No fire separation throughout the first and second floor. At the time when we inspected it, there was only one tenant on the first floor, and he had taken down all the drywall and rehung it with 3/8 drywall. You need a 5/8 to get the fire separation. Not only that, it's balloon frame, so obviously you need fire blocking. Other multiple violations, as you can see, the exposed electric. Yep, well, I cited you in court for that, so that doesn't apply to this. Pretty much it's a matter of removing one kitchen and taking a wall down, and then it's back to a single-family home. And no permits to convert from single-family to a 2-unit.
He has no problem with that?
As far as I understand, he's complying with our,
Mr. Sheldon?
what we're asking.
Excuse me. I purchased the building March 10th. They came in and inspected March
March 10th of what year?
this year.
Oh, you just bought it?
Yes, I came in, they came in and inspected. All this was done prior to me buying the building. I've already gone to court for it. They gave me 2 months for the violations. I've already torn all the plaster and drywall out. Most of the things I've complied with. The other ones I couldn't work on till I got the stop violation, which I just paid for.
And he did apply for the license to do work.
Oh, yeah, I passed.
Landlord's license, so he is
So are you
making
willing
progress.
to convert this like they're asking?
Well, yes, excuse me, I had cancer once. They, from what I understand, I've torn the ceilings out. I've torn most of the walls out. If they want a 1-inch insulation fire stop between there, I can do all that. From what I've seen with the electricity and the other stuff, that electricity for too flat has been there since '78. The reason I purchased the building is so my son and his girlfriend and their baby they're having can live on the second floor, and then the first floor I can rent out. I didn't buy the building to make money on it. I just bought it so my son would have some place to live. And I've ripped out all the drywall and plaster. I'm waiting now from here because I have to have all the electric redone for the whole building.
So do you have a problem making it a single-family home?
I would rather have it a double since I've got it all gutted out where I could put the fire insulation in between the first and second floor.
If that's the route he would like to go, I believe the way to do it would be to convert it back to a single-family home, and then he'd need to get the zoning approval for a 2-unit, and he'd have to submit plans to the building commissioner on how to make it a safe 2-unit. So if we could get it affirmed, and then he can start the process over once it's a single-family home, as far as doing it the right and legal way, I think that would be the best route to go.
Sir, are you willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we affirm their findings.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Check with the building department, they'll guide you through the process.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Item T. Specific finding of fact and decision submitted for approval. This is waiver of late fees, rental registration for 50605 Isles of 440 Enright, 442 Enright, 444 Enright, 446 Enright, 5611 Hiles, 5613 and 15. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the findings of fact.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item. Item U, correspondence received from Hammond Parks and Recreation requesting approval of holding a commercial fireworks display Friday, July 18th and Saturday, July 19th for the 11th Annual Festival of Lakes Island and Wolf Lake Memorial Park.
You're the fire chief.
The reason we have to do the board works approval is because this is outside of the 12 holy days of fireworks under our ordinance. So anything that's outside those 12 days has to be approved by board works.
Motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Ayes have it. Next item, item B, notice to owners of affected property received from the Hammond. Received from the Hammond Plan Commission.
It's a new subdivision, so we get notice because we own property within 300 feet, I think. So this is just for the record. We don't need to take any action on it.
For the record, so noted. Item W. Correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Anthony Higgs requesting 1135 164th Place be placed on the demolition list.
We need to refer that to building, right?
Yeah.
To code enforcement?
I'm not even sure what that is.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that be referred to code enforcement to inspect and recommend.
Second.
The motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item X, correspondence received from St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church requesting permission for Ben Levine Drive and Meadow Lane from Thursday, June 5th to Monday, June 9th for a church festival.
That's an annual event. I'd like to make a motion that we approve it.
Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item Y, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Make a motion that we approve all the permits.
And I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Are there any other matters from board members?
I have two matters. I'd like to bring up first an agreement to rehabilitate property located at 952 Hoffman.
All right, Mr. President, the owner of 952 Hoffman is here. He has the original copy that was just a fax sent over to the attorney, so I would like to swap out the original for the copy. I can give you the copy. That's the original.
Jim McMahon?
Sir, would you please state your name?
Jack Coomer.
Here, can I swap out those copies?
I had it upside down. I'm dyslexic.
And you're willing to abide by this agreement?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agreement to rehabilitate the property.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any other matter?
Yes, I have one other matter. We have the construction engineering contract that was approved by the Department of Transportation. This federally funded project on Kennedy Avenue from 175th Street to 169th. The contract is with First Group Engineering, who was selected in accordance with the federal highway process. Contract dollar amount is $498,468.04. It'll be 80% federally funded. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the contract so we can get this job started.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Ayes have it.
We already signed it.
Any matters from department heads or the representatives? Any new business?
Fresh business.
Any fresh business? Any old crusty business?
How about that when you get into your computer?
Remote access.
Well said. The meeting is now open to the public. Anyone from the public that would like to speak?
Alvin Cheeks, 832 Merrill Street. I brought this matter,
What's that address again?
832 Merrill Street, Hammond, Indiana. I brought this matter before the city council, and they told me I had to get a license from the DNR in regards to coyotes and raccoons. While I was in the process of getting licensed with the DNR, I brought a picture of the raccoons are where my son walks his little, whatever they call them, lap dogs or whatever. They're on the bike trail. The raccoons, they have holes. I brought several of the holes. The problem, the DNR is telling me you can't take a raccoon or a coyote if it makes it to city property. The raccoons sometimes live in your house and they destroy them. The coyotes kill the little dogs. At first I thought the coyotes, were a joke in our area, but after my son lost his dog and the neighbor lost hers, then we went out looking for them. In the morning, they're on the trail behind the fire station. The problem is that there's 2 schools within the fire station. So I would like the police department to start taking the raccoons and the coyotes because they cause a nuisance.
How are they supposed to take them?
Shoot them.
You want us to shoot a loaded gun at a raccoon or a coyote?
The Hammond Police Department killed one 2 Saturdays ago on Merrill Street. The Hammond PD did. And it is legal to take a raccoon and to take a coyote, being the fact they're declared by the state of Indiana as a nuisance. If an animal is declared a nuisance, it can be taken. If the raccoon or the coyote says it ventures onto my property, if you get a permit from the DNR, you can take them. Taking means shoot them. So you can check that. I went through the permit process to be able to do it. The problem is that it's more raccoons on city property, like behind Edgar School. It's like they have a hole that they typically go into.
hole where, in the school?
No, it's a hole in this, behind the fire station, it's like a little bitty hole by the Rand McNally, it's like a hill.
Oh.
Raccoon,
Okay, I thought you meant a hole in the school.
no, it's not a hole. And I thought it was a joke too, until my son and they kept complaining. So I go out you only find the coyotes in the morning. And for some reason, they come behind Douglas Point, they come behind Eggers.
Coyotes or the raccoons?
Both of them. You find them in the morning. I mean, it sounds like really trivial, but to little old ladies and little kids that have lap dogs, it's like real important to them.
No, there are humane traps, and I believe Hammond Animal Control has humane traps for trapping raccoons. But, I mean, you have to trap them and then transport them a substantial distance away.
Right.
Over 10 miles before they'll come back. In addition to that, raccoons do have predators. And a predator for the raccoon are foxes. And we do have foxes.
Yeah, we have large amounts of foxes.
So.
Right, it's just.
The recommendation is to use the humane traps and.
Right, it's just that being that it's so close to the school and, I'm trying to get my son where he can walk to school by himself, but when he said, well, it's a dog out there, I went and looked and it's not a dog, it's actually a raccoon. So, a raccoon and coyotes.
Referred to animal control.
Thank you.
And then let them look into it.
Motion and a second?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the public?
Morning. My name's Dean Button with SCH.
You have raccoons up by your house?
Hi, Chris, how are you? No, I formerly at a home I owned in Illinois when I was younger, but I work for SCH. I'm a resident at 1850 Maiden Lane, but
You got raccoons.
we don't have raccoons there yet.
I live right down the street and you have coyotes and raccoons. I've seen them.
We're right there by Forsyth Park.
Yes.
We are requesting on behalf of the Hammond Port Authority the closure of Sheffield Avenue from Calumet Avenue to 129th Street. This is a project that will be, we've been asked by Don Novak to close the road because the intent is to realign the road in a new location. So we're asking for a closure.
And the work's already started, right?
The work was awarded actually Tuesday night by the Hammond Port Authority.
Okay. Close it permanently?
Permanently close Sheffield from 129th to Calumet and realign it to a new location. We intend on filing, hopefully by next week, with this board a request to vacate the right-of-way and then eventually replat that area for open space in the area around Wolf Lake. Onto the property recently acquired by the Port Authority.
So that closure, we kind of need some dates. When do you need it to take effect?
As soon as possible.
Require public hearing for vacation?
How are people going to get to the marina to launch the boat?
At this point, I'm sorry, at this point, we're not vacating. We'll ask for a vacation next week. We're asking to close for traffic to start construction on the new street. And I'm sorry, sir, your question?
How are boaters going to get to the boat dock?
They will still have access from Calumet and Sheffield intersection up through the Festival of the Lakes. So they'll still have access that way until the new intersection is constructed. I did drop off a set of plans to Stan's office on Tuesday, I think it was, that there'll be a new intersection located at approximately 125th Street, which is a
the College Road used to be?
Yeah, but in the interim, you're going to have to keep Sheffield open a short distance before the closure, and that's going to be real confusing. So we kind of need a traffic plan.
And I did get one from the contractor yesterday.
I was off yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to really look at that stuff. I'm going to look at it today, and I'll call you that if I have any questions.
Sure.
We can tentatively approve, we probably should do it like next week, like Monday. 129, so.
June the 1st.
Okay, you're showing a type 3 barricade that would really prevent people from getting into Wolf Lake Park.
Right. And then there's another set of type 3 barricades just past the guardhouse, on the south side of the entrance to the guardhouse.
Okay.
So there's a.
First set of barricades are actually positioned so that you could go around.
Correct. So boaters
in there.
and park goers could still access the park through the guardhouse opening.
Okay, but the first set kind of warns everybody, hey, the road's closed, you're not going to be able to go all the way through.
If you look on the plan before that, on Calumet Avenue southbound, you'll see warnings of detour and closures approaching.
Yeah.
And then there'll be
Overhead
type 3
road
barricades at the Sheffield intersection with Calumet, but will allow vehicles to get into the park from that location, yes.
Okay, so basically all that you need today is a approval of the request to close to traffic Sheffield Avenue from 129th Street to Calumet Avenue, except that there will be an opening from Calumet into the park.
Correct.
And that'll take effect, let's say, Monday?
Yes, sir.
You're going to take care of all the barricades?
Yes, sir. Well, the contractor will, yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Dyer
When
Construction.
people leave the park, is it they can only go north on Sheffield?
Correct.
Right. Yeah, you need to notify police so that they know that this closure is in effect, because everybody, you know, it's really not a big inconvenience. You could stay on Calumet, go to 129th and turn on 129th.
So what about the stoplight? It's gonna go from red to green all the time, and there's no traffic coming off of Sheffield anymore, except when a boater comes out or someone
Correct.
comes out of the park.
It's a traffic activated signal. We might want to talk to NDOT about resetting it so that it doesn't become activated on Calumet when there's traffic, when there is no traffic on Sheffield trying to leave.
Okay.
So work with, I forget what her name is over at LaPorte District, but she'll reprogram that for you, because we don't want to tie up, there's going to be a lot more through traffic on Calumet with this change. So we want to keep Calumet going and only activate it if there's somebody pulling out off of Sheffield.
And we,
Now, when you vacate Sheffield, there's a bunch of utilities on there. You're going to vacate it subject to easement for all existing utilities.
correct. Correct. It's only vacation of the road right-of-way and basically a relocation. The road will become a park road and will meander
Then it's
through
going
the
to get
park.
reopened.
Yes,
The signal gets relocated on Calumet.
correct, south of the
And then
existing
the
location.
roadway actually gets reopened through the park, except during events at the park, it's going to be closed.
Correct.
So when do you think that'll be done? That'll be
We've
before
asked the contractor to put intermediate asphalt or binder down before the Festival of the Lakes.
So we're looking at late July, we should be open to traffic?
We'll have a temporary, let's say a temporary opening starting July the 1st.
Okay.
Through the festival, and then the contractor will come down after the festival, install the surface coat of asphalt, both in the new parking lot and the roadway, and then tear out the old Sheffield, because it's been asked that we leave the existing Sheffield in place for the festival for parking purposes.
Is this the plans with the roundabout? Is that still in the?
There are 2 roundabouts planned, yes.
When you turn west when you turned off of Calumet on 125th, there's supposed to be one there?
Correct.
Is that all gonna be like by July 1st also?
Correct. That's the urgency of this whole request.
20-mile-an-hour spot where it's gonna only be like 20 miles an hour or something?
I've heard all different, we talked to Stan about an initial speed limit requirement of 25 miles per hour. But there has been some discussion about maybe limiting that even further, so we'd like
I thought
to
that was the right area.
clarify that before we approve anything.
I think on the park roads, don't we post it lower than that? That's what, yeah, that kind of rings a bell. 15 miles an hour within a park.
Parkway's 15, huh?
Because everybody's going to go 25,
Right.
so you probably should make it in theory.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah,
So I've already made a motion, but then I talked a whole bunch after it. Do you remember what it was?
no.
You seconded it.
I know something about the police department was to get notify them, but
I thank you.
we
All
need.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you kindly.
Anyone else from the public?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion and second, ayes have it.